Hello and welcome to coverage of Grand Prix Nashville. I'm Marshall Sutcliffe in the booth with Brian David Marshall, and we are just about underway here. That is the same team, by the way. So we've got Ben Yu, Stephen Wolanski, and Jameson Painter, who top 4 to be more accurate, GP Portland, which was the last one. I feel like it's like you earned a top 8, but yeah. Anyway,
we still call it top 8.
Yeah, against relative unknowns here. Matt Sommerhalter, DeWitt, Kane, and Riley Curran. We don't see them out on the GP circuit that often, and they are undefeated overnight. This is the only team with an unblemished record coming into day 2. A really great accomplishment, especially when you remember that this team event doesn't have buys.
Yeah.
Every player, every team had to do it the hard way. Even, you know, the big pros who come in with their 3 buys at a GP. No, you got to play every single round, and we saw some of the big teams fall as a result.
Riley Curran just
he's kind of just
plugging away.
He's Curran out here.
Yeah.
We've got really one of the better uncommons in this set.
I forgot my slide whistle this morning.
Obzon Falconer, but also a reasonable one there with a disowned ancestor. But now they're both going to have flying, and that's all of a sudden 4 power in the air. It's going to put a pretty quick clock on Ben Yu, who's really only managed to come up with a morph so far.
Yeah, disowned ancestor came down on turn 2 because he had the tri-land on turn 1, and so he wasn't able to, outlast that on curve on turn 2,
sure,
and maybe even start flying over when he played the Falconer on turn 3.
So far, it looks like Teamer for Ben Yu. Those are the only colors we've seen anyway. And a pair of morphs. So what would normally be a pretty good start is going to get outclassed pretty quickly by Ryan if Ben doesn't have anything to interact. He's only going to attack for 3 in the air there. He's going to leave back his disowned ancestor for blocks. Check that. He wants to get it up to 2 power before he starts attacking.
I believe, by the way, when you play with beautiful unhinged lands like that, your deck is actually called Obzon.
Where'd you say that slide whistle went? You think those are beautiful?
I really like them. I mean, I like all those lands. I mean, they're no
unhinged.
They're no, Zendikar, classic bordered.
Oh, right.
My
not
favorite
full
lands,
frame.
not full framed, full framed art.
I've seen those. I was at your house and I saw those, and I'm like, no. The twinkle in your eye made me realize you were going to go crazy there. All right, so Master of the Way is going to kill the Obzon Falconer while it's still good enough to do so.
And it grounds any Air Force, right? Like that disowned ancestor
that's huge.
Can't get through in the air anymore. And any other cards, with counters are also going to be, working the slow way. But
Ben Yu is also able to attack with both morphs since he had 5 mana up. The morph of Riley Curran just wasn't realistically able to block. Wow. Ivory Tusk Fortress, yes, and that's of course going to untap the disowned ancestor. So Ben Yu's going to have a mighty wall to get through here. That 5/7, the morphs just don't get through it.
Yeah, and that disowned ancestor becomes a clock that got vigilant outlast.
Basically. Yeah, which is huge. Now he does still have to decide, do I want to outlast or do I want to attack? But he can do either and still have it back on block. So get a look at our feature match area here. That's Ben Yu, the nearest to us on the table there. Painter's on the far end with the black t-shirt, and in the middle there is Wolanski. These guys are all career gamers of one sort or another.
So is that your implication that maybe this team on the left is from Las Vegas?
The team, yes, on the right is from Las Vegas. That is correct. They all live there. I've seen them there. Ben's nickname is Professor Ben. He is
Secret Plans.
Not a dumb human being. Oh, BDM. Your friend has arrived. Secret Plans.
Okay. Shh. Gonna make the stream go dark now.
We can't tell you.
You can't.
Now, this is a nice follow-up, though. Secret Plans into morph. So, one of the things about Secret Plans is the timing matters, right? And now he's got 3 morphs that
I like the 3-card Morphe game he played there.
It's incredible. Secret plans and 3 unflipped morphs is going to absolutely take over this game. And remember, those morphs are all 2/3s now. And 2/3 is an absolute sweet spot in this format. Now, he is tapped out, and Ivory Chest Fortress is huge. And can just
Ivory
battle
Chest Fortress
right in.
doesn't die. He can kill.
He can kill a morph.
Yeah.
But the fortress would also survive that. Now, one thing to remember about the fortress is that it does not untap itself unless it's got a counter on it. But the aggression is strong in this one, and Riley is going to just ship the old team in here. I believe that I saw a throttle in hand.
Yeah,
did you catch that too,
I did,
BDM?
yeah.
So he might be trying to set up some type of bad block. Remember, though, this is interesting. Like, Ben has some pretty nice blocks here. He's got 14 life to work with. 2 3s on both. And that means, like, the Disowned Ancestor doesn't get in at all. Now, it's a free attack, essentially. Unless
I feel like this
Ben
has to
wants
be a
to triple block.
I feel like this has to be a Woolly Loxodon under there.
Which one?
The Riley's morph.
Oh, okay.
Right, that's the only creature you could send in there.
Well, it could be an Obzon guide, but if it gets double blocked, he has to trade. But even then, trading's not the worst. And remember, it takes a card away from Benyu.
Sure.
Now, Woolly Loxodon would be super sweet. It would actually be able to full-on kill 2 morphs.
Yeah, and live.
Yeah. But the Ivory Fortress does not have that luxury.
Yeah, the mighty morph.
And so what's happening here is Ben's consulting.
7/7 toughness, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not going to die.
Yeah, but it can't kill 2 morphs.
Oh, no, it only kills 1 morph.
Yeah, because they're all 2/3.
So in the end, we're just putting 3 morphs in front of
Disowned Ancestor, and it's going to throttle one of them, which was a Snowhorn Rider, and that's not going to leave enough back to actually kill the Disowned Ancestor. So that actually worked out pretty nicely there for Riley. Benyu ends up taking 7 damage in that exchange. But now the fun begins for Benyu as he's at 7, still relatively stable, and he gets to start flipping up those morphs and drawing cards. He knows that he can win the long game from this point, most likely, as he's going to be able to outdraw his opponent significantly. The problem is that he's under significant pressure right now, and he doesn't really have a lot of time to fuss around.
He's at 7, and it has to at least consider that morph is a Woolly Loxodon.
Absolutely. He's going to pass the turn back. Now, also, Benyu could have a Woolly Loxodon of his own, which would be quite nice. But Riley Curran is not dissuaded. He just jams with the entire team here. And Ben is going to say, okay, well, I'm going to block like this. This has him taking 2 damage. And there it is, Woolly Loxodon. Now that does survive, although it doesn't actually kill the Ivory Tusk Fortress in battle. And another throttle.
All the throttles.
Benyu did get to draw his card off that from Secret Plans. He's only taking 2 this turn. So can he grind his way back in here? Is that a 1,000 wins in his hand or an aerialist? What is that, BDM?
On U's
in
side?
Benyu's side, on his top, he's got a blue card.
It looked like it might have been 1,000 wins. We're gonna get a.
God, how sweet would that be?
Might not have time for that to.
Yeah, down the road. He doesn't have it now, that's for sure. All right, he's going to start things off with Highland Game. That at least is going to force that morph to turn face up. But this is not great for Ben. He is just, it just feels like he's so far behind on tempo. He doesn't have enough mana to do all the things he wants to do. He's got morphs just sitting face down forever. And Riley Curran's on the attack with everything, every turn plan here.
So
Kind of forever.
Highland Game's going to get in the way of this own Ancestor, and
Highland Game's blocking the Fortress.
yeah, I'm sorry, yeah.
Oh, it was a Willie Loxodon after all. So this looks like 2 chump blocks and a bounce here as it plays out. Ugh, Misfire Weaver.
Yeah.
That's one of the better morphs in the set.
But the Secret Plans lets that one morph survive, and if it is something like Thousand Winds, that could reset this game right here.
Indeed. So he's got a Bear's Companion. I mean, Ben has tools to work with here. And ultimately, he did not take any damage last turn. He's expending cards, but the thing is, the cards he's expending, he's also getting some of them back off of Secret Plans, so it's not that bad. Oh God, is this Thousand Winds? Do it. Bang! Thousand Winds, it was. Oh man, all of them go back to his hand. And by the way, draw a card.
Oh
Not bad. And he drew Treasure Cruise. I like the cut of his jib. This looks pretty sweet to me. Now, can Riley rebuild his board state quickly enough to take over this game again? He's got tons of mana available.
But he is on a 3-turn clock from the flyer.
He is. And the Bear's Companion is going to be a nice one to clog up the ground, make blocking difficult.
So here comes the Fortress.
Okay, Fortress down, Ancestor, and then Morph.
What could it be? It looks like he's actually playing a different morph. No, he did end up actually playing the Willie Loxodon. It looked like he had another morph in his hand that he was considering.
I'll tell you what, Ben U's going to notice that too.
Yeah.
Like, maybe it was a pump fake, but...
All right, here comes a Cruise.
Yeah, now what I really want to know is, does Thousand Winds attack here? Like, that's going to show me that if it does, then Ben Yu has a game plan to win this game in 3 turns where he can beat down. If it doesn't, then he's looking to go even longer with the game.
There's the Bear's Companion. He's like, let's get this guy down.
All right. Bear's Companion and his friend, the 4/4 Bear.
That bear looks drunk.
He's partying. He's reveling. He's got his party haircut.
So no Treasure Cruise this turn.
Now the question, so I think Ben right now is considering, do I actually attack? Nah, he's gonna play it safe and keep back. With the Treasure Cruise in his hand, and with Secret Plans and a Morph, he's gonna be able to, again, just completely outcard his opponent, so he's not really in a rush here. Normally you want to try to shut the door on your opponent, but you know, this kind of deck that Riley has, it doesn't have a lot of, we call it reach, and I don't mean can block creatures with flying, I mean ways to kill your opponent without attacking. You know, he's not going to fireball him or whatever. You know, Crater's Claws on the splash doesn't look like it's going to happen here.
Got to look at the other morph in Riley's hand. It looked like it was Obzone Guide.
Oh, it was a guide. Well, that's one of the better morphs, but I don't know. It feels like Ben Yu has turned the corner here.
Looks like he's holding maybe Guide and Hooting Mandrills.
That's not going to get it done here. Ben Yu stable at 7 with a dominating board presence. That Misfire Weaver you see at the bottom of your screen is not actually on the battlefield. That's his graveyard, but all the other creatures are. Morph. So that's the guide?
That's the guide.
All right. And he just has to pass a turn. And Ben Yu, this is the point in Magic where you breathe a sigh of relief, because now you know you've got him, right? I mean, he's got Treasure Cruise in his hand. He's got a Morph on the battlefield. He's got a much better board state, well, at least a better board state currently.
So have you come around at all on Secret Plans, watching it in action this weekend?
Well, I mean, I play it.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't usually pick it very highly, but which means I don't play it very often. Is that Surrock? Wow, he's got Surrock in his hand too. Here's another morph from Ben Yu. And it is time to beat down. Easily.
Fly, little bird, fly.
Yeah. Yeah, totally time for him to start applying pressure back to Riley here, especially given that Riley could make a huge mistake here.
Yep.
and attack, make an ill-fated attack and have Sirach completely change the board state. Sirach does that in a huge way too. He's a 6/6 with flash, so that.
Great patience by you here also on the treasure cruise.
Yeah, he's got better things to do.
Yeah.
No time for a vacation.
It's like he could have anything. You don't know. It's
Yeah.
like in a draft, you have some sense of the cards that have been at the table.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is round one, new seal pools.
Yeah.
His pool could be the nut. His pool could be garbage. I don't even know. All
That's
right.
true.
Comes in with just the Wooly and what we know is an Obzon guy.
Sirach. Bang. Here he is. I mean, if you're going to play teamer,
Yeah.
might as well have the clan leader, right? And he is going to block the morph, which is going to end up being a great block, and just chump block the Woolly Loxodon. Now, cards that Benyu is going to be thinking about here are like Awaken the Bear, right? He doesn't want to get randomly killed by an Awaken the Bear. Yeah, and I think that's actually what went through his head there. Because if he only chump blocks with the Bear's Companion and his opponent has Awaken the Bear, he actually loses. It becomes 9.
Thinking, how many more throttles can this guy have?
Yeah, Throttle's fine. I mean, Throttle, he still lives. He does kind of get blown out, but he's still alive.
It looks like a dragon scale moon is the trek
Really?
from Riley Curran.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh, that would be very good here on the Woolly Loxodon. Yeah, Benyu has, because this is interesting now. Benyu's in a position where he's thinking about the combat tricks, and he says, all right, if I chump block with Bear's Companion and he has the Awaken the Bear, I lose, so I don't want to do that. But if he's got this, like if he had Awaken the Bear here, he would still just get his guys ran over. He's going to force the issue, though, and put the full triple block up. And it looks like the Morph's going to be the first one in line to get trampled on, but, well, not literally trampled, but to get ran over. And there's Obzon Guide that's going to run into Sirach and a Morph. And there's a Dragon Scale Boon to untap the Woolly Loxodon and put 2 counters on it and mean that it gets to kill everything. 8, 4, 5. Yes,
Yeah.
kill everything.
No,
it's everything.
You have 3
Oh, the
points
Morph
of
has
toughness
3.
on
You're
the
right.
Morph.
So he actually gets to keep the 2/2. You're right. And we see. Oh, interesting. Yeah, so, yeah, Benyu dipping into a 4th color there. It looks like a free one just to get those Abomination of Gadools active, which just hit the bin as well as a Sagu Archer. So back to Ben, and that was a nice sequence there from Riley, and I think we're going to go on a cruise here. It's time for Ben to put up his feet and treat himself to a little vacation. Here we go. If you're Riley Curran, you're like, oh, brick. Life, that could matter. Now, Riley did gain 4 life from that exchange with the Obzon Guide,
Right.
which certainly matters here. It adds an entire turn to the clock of that 1,000 wins and might change the trajectory of this game for Benyu to once again deciding, you know what, this game needs to go longer. Now he's facing down an 8-power creature with 9 toughness.
Oh, Villainous Wealth.
Somebody just
hit
lived
Master
my
of the
dream.
Eye.
Warden of the Eye.
Warden of the Eye, sorry, yes.
Wow. Yeah, just show
Yes.
me real quick. I need this, Rashad. That is ridiculous.
That's been my dream since the pre-release.
I think I'll get back my Villainous Wealth. Okay, I've had enough. That is unbelievable. I actually had my friend and previous co-host on the podcast, Brian Wong told me that the correct thing to do is to pass Warden of the Eye when you have a Villainous Wealth. Just try to make that happen. Because I took it. I was like, oh, I want to get my Villainous Wealth back. He's like, no, you give it to them.
That's very funny.
Make them get it back for you.
Wow, look at this double block on the Woolly Loxodon.
Yeah, he just had to. So Ben Yu has definitely taken a turn for making this game go long. But what the heck does he have in his hand? He did nothing after the Treasure Cruise?
Yeah, it looked like he drew lands.
Really? That's not a nice vacation.
I mean, sometimes it rains.
I mean, he's just on nothing here? I think he just drew a, oh. All right, I think he's gonna just turn this guy up right away and try to draw a card to get some action going. Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Kintree Warden.
My buddy.
Actually pretty good here somehow.
I love Kintree Warden.
I think that card's terrible, but look at it.
In this deck.
Yeah, like he gets to block a 5/7 forever now. Interesting. And of course, he drew a card off of Secret Plants as well.
That's the only reason I love that card here.
Oh, okay, sure.
I love being able to unmorph for just green, draw a card.
Sure. Yeah, that's huge. Monastery Flock.
Monastery Flock, yeah.
Cheap unmorphs are a big
Mystic
deal.
of the Hidden Way, 3 mana, draw a card, you know, evasion.
Yeah, 3's pretty reasonable. It's the 5 ones that are a little
the whole
clunky,
cycle
right?
of cards that you previewed where you get to reveal a card of the same color.
Totally.
Those are spectacular. They're never better than in that deck.
All right, so Ben Yu's definitely flooding out a bit here, but his board state looks pretty stable. Oh, Savage Punch, you say? We get a little look behind the scenes of Ben there, but he just drew a Savage Punch, which he can use to kill essentially anything on the battlefield. He just has to decide what he wants to kill. Ivory Tusk Fortress seems like an obvious target, but you know, sometimes you're worried about a specific morph, or you don't want the Tusk Guard Captain on the bottom to get out of hand. I mean, that thing's just going to sit there and grow and grow and grow.
Sure, but it's less like it gets more out of hand with the Ivory Tusk Fortress around. As
yeah,
you
it
can
serves
see,
double duty.
He was able to put a counter on it and untap it. Here comes a morph.
Ben Yu back up to 10 thanks to a few gain lands there. He's lining up a double block. He's got to be careful though, because if that's a Ruthless Ripper and Riley has a black card in his hand, he could lose his Surrak pretty easily.
Yeah, he's like, you know what, I'm just going to block and regenerate. That's what my guy does.
I like that a lot.
I like the read on Ruthless Ripper there.
Yeah, just in case, right? Like, Surrak's too important.
Let's see if Riley has a Ruthless Ripper. See how good your read is here.
Could be another Woolly Loxodon, I guess.
No, he doesn't. He does not have a Ruthless Ripper in his deck.
What do you think it is? What is he just jamming in there right into Surrak?
Another Abzan Guide?
God, he just wants to gain 4 life? Seems terrible. I don't know what that attack was all about. I need to know what that morph is to figure it out. In the meantime, hello. Yeah. Surrak says, I find an opening.
Well, he needed to get. Oh, well, it was the Woolly Loxodon.
That makes sense. So does Ben Yu have something like Icy Blast here? Like, what is about to happen? Remember, the 3-power Disown Ancestor and the 4-power Tusk Guard Captain both have Trample. All he's got is the 1/1 Regenerator. Maybe he's got Harden. God, what could he have here? He could be trying to kill him with a
he's just trying
Crater's Claw.
I think he's just figured out that Ben Yu has no more no more lands left in his deck.
Oh, gotcha.
Or very few, anyway.
He can figure out how many spells he's got. I see a mountain, so he doesn't have everything.
He's probably got 5 or 6 more lands in there.
He's going to block and regenerate, though he does take 3 off of this exchange. So that was the only thing that attacked?
Yeah, the Disowned Ancestor can now keep the Surrak at bay with 7 toughness. The Woolly Loxodon can keep it at bay with 7 toughness.
I feel like these life total, like, is he really at 13, Riley Curran? Icy Blast, there it was. That had to be it. Well, he's scooping him up, so there's no way he was at 13. He must have been at 7.
Yeah.
Which would have been exactly lethal. But I think he took that hit from Surak and dropped from 13 to 7, and then that was it. So Ben Yu finds the victory. That was grindy. He really had to go deep into his deck there, and Riley Curran was keeping him under heat for the whole entire game there.
Yeah, I mean, I was very pessimistic that Ben was going to be able to pull that game out.
Even with secret plans.
Even with secret plans, yeah.
He felt way too far behind, right? Yeah. Okay, let's jump over to Matt Sommerhalter versus Jameson Painter.
Feet of resistances have been deployed on both sides of that table. We're going to look at Sommerhalter, who has a T-shirt with his name on it. So clearly not his first Magic tournament.
Right. All right, Armament Core here.
First strikes all around.
Wow, first strike death touch even.
Yeah.
Painter's going to just battle right here.
So four power first striking Einak Bonkin, and then a first strike death touch Ruthless Ripper. No blocks here that make any sense.
Just take over half of your life total there, Matt. So big chunk of damage. Gain a life from Blossoming Sands. Well, he's got the unhinged lands too.
Yeah.
What is it, a team thing?
Probably a team thing. You're a little selfish. You only bring enough beta lands for yourself. Clearly, someone here is a more benevolent.
That's true.
Unlimited resources.
All right, so Alabaster Curran into the red zone, pecking away in the air, but Painter really looks like he's under no threat of immediate death here and has a much better board state going. So
yeah, he drops to 13.
And Painter's already up a game. Wow.
One game all the way across the board now. We see DeWitt Kane just lost game 1 to Stephen Wolanski.
Okay. All right. Remember the Sommerhalter Kane Curran team, they're the only undefeated team left in the field here. So if they lose this match, this will be their first loss of the entire tournament. Now, you certainly don't want to get your day 2 started that way, but you can recover.
Yeah, and in case you guys weren't with us yesterday, if you see people pointing at their cards, they're not maybe necessarily playing something or indicating something. What they're doing is actually talking to their teammates. There's, communication.
There it is.
Yeah. And so he's like, well, what about this one? What about this one? Like, oh, all of them? Okay.
Yeah. That didn't take a lot of convincing.
He's like, oh, you're at 5, huh? It's like, I'm sorry, my teammate said attack with everything.
Painter ominously with 3 cards in hand and 6 mana untapped too. So this is just a yucky spot for Matt Sommerhalter unless he's got something great. Okay. All right. His something great equals 2 chump blocks. So Painter needs not play anything else from his hand here. He doesn't want to walk into a
Perhaps you shouldn't have given all those throttles to Riley Curran.
No kidding. Throttling the Einak Bonkin would be a big game here.
Yeah.
But doesn't look like that's what's going to happen. He just simply passes the turn back, maybe accepting his fate here.
Yep, he's like, all right, I've attacked.
And he does, and that's going to earn Jameson Painter the handshake here. So he wins his match for his team, and that takes a lot of the pressure off, as now Stephen Wolanski or Ben Yu simply have to win a game of Magic to take down this match.
And look at what Ben Yu played on turn 2.
Oh, just ran it right out there,
just
huh?
Put a face-up Kintree Warden out there. So
it's embarrassing.
I'm just going to... Sometimes you do it.
No, come on, man.
Yeah.
Watch what it does. It's going to get flown over a bunch of times.
Well, eventually. Not this turn.
No, not this turn. Okay, I like that a little better. I like the more follow-up. So here's Falconer.
We might see a Savage Punch here.
Uh-oh, really?
Yeah, just Savage Punch your Morph. Why not?
Getting it off the table is a big game, especially because Ben Yu's got secret plans in hand. Now, course, Riley doesn't know that, but he did get to see it game 1, so he's going to know that it's available.
He's going to play a morph, and he's going to outlast this guy.
Right.
He's going to develop his board much.
But he's got a turn, right? Like, not that many bad things can happen with 4. He's going to trade off at the worst. If he's patient, he can also try to get 2 extra damage in with his Obzon Falconer when he Savage punches. So, okay, secret plans. This is the awkward part about secret plans, is that you got to take some turn in your early development to cast it, and it doesn't do a whole lot when you do.
Ideally, it's turn 2.
Yeah, turn 2 is actually the best spot for it.
And now with his morph trumping Riley's morph, he's able to get in for 2.
For a couple of damage. He's left up regeneration mana for his Warden for that morph.
Just looking at Benyu's morphs here, seeing what...
He's got a whole bunch, huh?
Yeah. Playing 1 of 2 Treasure Cruise. He has 2 Mistfire Reavers. He's got a Mystic of the Hidden Way, a Glacial Stalker. No Monastery Flocks. Does have 2 secret plans, though.
All right, so here is Obzon Falconer is going to take down a Mystic of the Hidden Way there. And let's see if Benyu can get things going in the right direction. He finds himself in a similar position to the one he did in the first game, where he's just kind of behind on board by a fair bit, but has a lot of the tools that he needs to go long here. So
he's got Master the Way in hand. He could actually take down that Falconer.
Can he? Is it 4 toughness right now, or is it 5? It's 5. And he's only got 4 cards in hand, so he actually can't.
Okay. It's a little short.
Interesting. That thing's going to get worse and worse. But he's going to start by getting a morph on the battlefield. Maybe that's 1,000 wins. I didn't see what it was. But Riley's going to have to consider that too, though. Looks like he's just going to fight here. Yeah. I mean, he's got to do it, but Obzon Guide played as a morph, and I believe no land drop. Yeah, no land drop for Riley, so a little stumble there, but not too bad. He's got Icy Blast. That's what Benyu has. Not currently Ferocious, though. So I think he wants to Master the Way one of the morphs here. You know, he'd love to pick off a Woolly Loxodon here.
Yeah, he asked which morph was first. Which
I know.
One should I get?
This is where he's got to use his skills as a gamer.
Gets the one that was just cast, and that's the Obzon Guide.
That's not bad. Of course, gets to draw a card off of this too. I think he's got a Thornwood Falls here.
Now, Riley, do you play differently once you've seen that 1,000 wins?
Yeah, I do, but not in this scenario, right? Like, Obzon Falconer is just going to keep getting into the red zone either way. If it gets bounced, so be it, right? But like, there are scenarios
or you maybe
where,
don't get as aggressive with your morphs. And,
right, exactly.
Or do you?
No, he's got 5 mana. Doesn't have 6, so it's not Woolly Loxodon. Ben is now tapped out on regeneration mana here.
No, just another Obzon Guide.
So
they were all Obzon Guides.
Ben, you could have picked either.
Just in case you were feeling good about your read, they were all Obzon Guides.
And Ben's just going to ship the turn back with infinite mana up. Certainly putting the fear into Riley that he could be facing down 1,000 wins here. Riley's got to be thinking about that. Now, one interesting play, I don't know if he's got it in his hand, but you can Dragon Scale Boon, like attack.
Sure.
And then he goes 1,000 wins, and then you go Dragon Scale Boon, and your guy's untapped again, it doesn't get bounced. But it looks like he just took the 4 damage there, did Benyu, and there it is. All right, Willie locks it on is what it was.
You see, he was ready to pick up his.
He was.
He fully expected that to
Now, did he miss his untap with the Obzon Falconer there?
I think he did.
Is that optional? Can he miss that? It doesn't trigger. It just says it untaps when their stuff untaps. I don't know if it matters here, but that Falconer should benefit from the Ivory Fortress and untap.
Here comes a morph. Something's getting punched.
Yeah, it's not optional either, so. All right, well, it looks like it doesn't matter anyway. Irrelevant. Or irrelevant.
Oh.
Yeah. It's actually 2 elephants on the battlefield here. And now Riley Curran representing probably a throttle is what Ben Yu's thinking. It happens to be Awaken the Bear in this case, and throttle. Okay, so he's got both of them. But Ben Yu is certainly going to be considering the throttle because that's the card that he saw in the first game. Dragon Scale Boon as well. I mean, it's pretty, like, the Warden does really good work against these, like the Ivory Chest Fortress, as long as Ben has mana, which he does. The question is just if he blocks in a way that gets himself blown out by throttle, then that's the mistake he can
Doesn't he
make.
block in a way here that this just kills him, right?
Kills who?
This just kills Ben. He's at 5.
Yes, this does.
Right. Awaken the Bear. I mean, he's got to worry about Force Away.
Yes, he does.
He's got to think about Force Away.
But it's really interesting because Riley can say, I pass priority here. And Ben, really, he's kind of obliged to regenerate. And but Ben could also say, okay.
Okay.
And then he doesn't lose this turn. If he has Force Away, Ben Yu is definitely capable of that. But
he does regenerate. There's the Awaken the Bear.
And there's the Awaken the Bear, and that's enough for lethal damage. He's going to take 6 here. Boo. He looks at his hand and he sees Icy Blast. All right, so Riley Curran evens things up. It's not going to be that easy. Remember, the match on the far end is already done. And DeWitt Kane is trying to even things up with Stephen Wolanski. Jameson Painter won his match 2-0, while Wolanski and Ben Yu immediately won their first game. So they were up, 4 game wins to 0 actually.
Yeah.
And now they're trying to fight back. So let's see how DeWitt's doing on his progression here against Steven.
He's got a lot of toughness.
He's got 10. Wow, that's pretty good. And make it 15.
Yeah, River Wheel Aerialists.
I like that card.
I do too.
If I'm going to pay 6 mana, that's the kind of card I want to play. Generally speaking, though, I just play all the morphs.
He's just keeping Steve Wolanski's entire board at bay here. A little constrained out of those.
Okay, Warden of the Eye gets back. Oh, Ride Down.
Oh, boy.
That's a good one. Really nice against these walls. They're both at 15 life.
Is that a Sagu Mauler and 1,000 wins in DeWitt Kane's deck?
I see a Dragon's Eye Savants for sure. I do see a Sagu Mauler. I don't know what the other card is. I don't think it's 1,000 wins, though.
Oh, yeah, it is.
It's 1,000 wins?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Holy smokes. That one was the 1,000 wins there.
And this one's Dragon Eye Savants.
Wow. He's probably just going to hard cast a Mauler, I suppose.
Yeah, next turn he can just hard cast Sagu Mauler.
Or flip up 1,000 wins.
Yeah,
so he's going to reveal Sagu Mauler?
Wolanski's team is going to be doing a lot of being tapped right now.
Why? He doesn't have any attacks?
Not many
Block,
things.
block. Yeah, you're right. There's just nothing great here. Now, DeWitt may have to settle for a 5/6 with flying.
Although I guess the ride down does mean we'll have some attacking coming.
That's true. Now, the fact that DeWitt's at 15, though, makes that ride down a lot worse. Like, obviously, it's still fine as removal. It'll get one of these walls out of the way. But,
If you signed up for team draft number 4,
he's just going to block with the flock.
Yeah.
And he can write it down.
Yeah, he's like,
He doesn't even bother. Maybe he has a burn spell of some sort, and bring down or something. No, War Shrieker, okay. We're developing. War Shrieker into Treasure Cruise.
I've never actually seen that.
I have never seen that either. Achievement unlocked, Stephen Wolanski. You got me, buddy. Didn't think I was going to see that one. What is this, vintage?
Yeah.
Black Lotus and Ancestral?
Crazy. I've actually just never, it's never come up for me. All right. Aerialists come over.
And he found a burn away as well.
Report to table A2.
He's still got that Sagu Mauler that he can reveal to the Dragon's Eye sponsor. Get a look at what Stephen Wolanski's working with. So if Stephen makes some, you know, ambitious, bluffy, combat tricky type attack, DeWitt can say, all right, let's see what you got, and make some pretty perfect blocks as a result. Now the ride down's still in hand though for Wolanski, so DeWitt already knows about that though.
Full grip of cards to work with for Wolanski. All right, deploys a Horde Ambusher.
And I believe he's going to reveal the ride down for that.
Yep, says your guy can't block. Ooh.
If that is 1,000 wins,
This has,
this is going to feel real scary for Stephen Wolanski.
my
Here we
gosh.
go.
he's gonna be able to.
Oh, geez.
These four are definitely attacking. He's thinking about leaving the Mantis Riders back to, yeah.
F1. Draft 11 to F1, please.
I love this. So DeWitt is blocking here to try to get Wolanski to use some tricks. Now,
Yeah, he's like, spend some
unfortunately,
mana.
well, so the ride down's going to work either way, though.
Yeah.
So there is definitely an argument if you don't want to lose one of your creatures to just flipping up your 1,000 wins, so that ride down just isn't even applicable.
Right. You put 1,000 wins in the way of something like a Horde Ambusher, maybe.
I don't think you can block with it.
Just
Like,
can't risk it.
He rides it down.
Well, maybe he rides it down.
Wouldn't you ride down a 5/6 flyer?
You don't have to show him that's a 5/6 flyer yet.
Oh, you're just saying he just blocks to like represent a trade or whatever?
Yeah.
I just wouldn't block with the thing at all.
He's going to ride down the wall, right? Yeah.
Sure.
That's what
He's going to do this in response.
Okay.
That's going to happen either way.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's why you can put your 1,000 wins in front of something.
Right. It must not be 1,000 wins because
Okay.
he just used burn away on the Jeskai student.
Just a reminder, there are 25 minutes remaining in the two-headed giant madness. If you'd like to sign up for this event, you have 25 minutes before registration closes. Also, we're still taking sign-ups for the Legacy Madness.
It's like the whole team's trying to decide if the burn away is acceptable.
We are having an event, 12:30 Modern Madness. If you'd like to sign up for any of these events, please head up to the registration area.
Feet of Resistance, it looks like. That's the mana for it anyway. There's Feet of
Oh,
Resistance.
boy.
So that's going to give it protection from red. Now, if that was a Dragon's Eye Savants, then he could just reveal the Sagu Mauler and kind of not worry about it. But I think, yeah, that's the Dragon's Eye Savant. So reveal Sagu Mauler.
There's the Hordling Outburst.
And he's going to lose whatever that morph is under there. Whirling Outburst.
2 lands.
And is that a Mardu Blazebringer? Or no, it's another War Shrieker, right?
Another War Shrieker.
Yeah,
Yes,
another
yes,
War
yes,
Shrieker.
it is.
Okay. This thing's gonna die. What was it?
It was Thousand Winds.
What in the heck? I mean, it isn't all rosy for him if he does bounce all of his creatures. He gets to replay a Warden of the Eye.
Yeah, but Wolanski's at 7, and then he has 2. He has 9 points of flyer coming over, plus 2 walls to block. And he could play a Sagu Mauler that can't be messed with.
Just let his guy die. I mean, he blocked.
I mean,
he blocked
thought
a
he was gonna,
1-power creature with it.
Right. He thought he was going to kill it after the ride down, right? He thought, oh, you'll ride down, then I'll kill your guy, but he wasn't expecting the
Defeat.
yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll see if it works out for
Calculated
DeWitt
risk.
here. He's going to attack with the Aerialist.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, like the thing is, Wolanski did leave back that High Spire Mantis, right? So
Right,
he
High
had
Spire
a
Mantis,
blocker, but you got to figure, just on a pure tempo play, that Wolanski's not going to be able to deploy all the things he wants to deploy after you bounce 5, 9, 10, 11, 13 mana worth of creatures back to his hand.
Oh, it's 7 times.
Is it 7?
It's 7 times morph, yeah.
So that's why.
That's why, yes. Sorry, Randy didn't bring me my coffee.
I thought he had 7. I guess he's only got 6. So that makes all of that moot. Apologies. It also makes it make a lot more sense from DeWitt Kane's standpoint about why he took the line he took. Now, you know, maybe you want to wait so that you get to 7 mana, but he's got other stuff to do.
Yep, 2 morphs.
2 morphs, interesting. He's
One
going to
of which
risk
his
it.
opponent knows is
Yeah,
Sagu Mauler.
that's risky business, though. You know, a lot of times you just want to cast it, but it looks like Wolanski now has just an absurd board state here, and DeWitt did not hit his 7th land here anyway, so he just kind of feels stuck. Okay, so Wolanski has a bring down, and he's going to guess this one, and he was correct. Wolanski picks correctly. That's the risk you take by playing it as a morph. Sometimes you just need to slam it as a 6-drop, but he did want to get 2 creatures down. As you look at Wolanski's board, and he's got a million little creatures on the ground, having 2 morphs to eat up some tokens could be a pretty big deal there, so he decided to go for it. And I believe he just conceded?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's actually going to be the whole match then. As you see the match slip flipped onto the table by the judge.
He actually wanted him to get the Sagu Mauler.
He did?
Yeah, because the other one was an Abomination of Godot. It meant he had 2 flyers next turn.
Oh, well, yeah, it
And-
depends.
and
I mean, the Mauler's not bad at battling either.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
but
you'd have to throw his whole team in
yeah.
front of it, but.